Hello. Yes, I'm wearing the same. Yes, I'm sat in the same position. Yes, I'm filming this directly after yesterday's. That's just kind of how I'm doing this. I'm hoping to go to Australia. Well, I've booked to go to Australia, so I'm really hoping that I've filmed everything by the time I go to Australia, which I think gives me about a month. And I've only got, I think, 11 videos left, although I'm still missing 2 words, so we'll see. Anyway, today's word is connections. And again, this is one that I actually had no idea for, and I just suddenly realized something, and so I want to talk about it. When I first came back here, after sort of my year of working in hotels abroad, I was a bit lost, shall we say. I knew that I wanted to be in London, and that was about it, really. I knew that I would potentially want to do some traveling. I knew I really wanted to go to Holland if possible, and I knew I really wanted to go to Australia if possible. But I knew that between those, I'd probably be taking about 5 weeks, maybe even 6 weeks away from London. So I knew I'd be coming back here, potentially not really able to do anything because I knew I'd be wanting to take a big chunk off, sort of from the end of February to the start of April-ish. So I kind of came here and I didn't want to apply for any jobs because I didn't want to do that to any company. And I was like, no, that's something I'll worry about when I get back. And luckily, I'm really, really grateful that I can stay with my grandmother. That makes a huge difference. I would not be able to do this otherwise. And obviously I had some savings because I've spent the whole last year in hotels, not really spending much money and earning. Oh, and obviously also the first few weeks, my sister was here as well. I knew there was something else I was missing. So I really didn't have a lot of time of sort of free time, so to speak. But while my sister was here, obviously we saw lots of family members. We basically went to see everyone at least once, some even twice, which was lovely. I love my family, and that's one of the reasons why I love being in London. But with every conversation I had, things started to seem to fall into place. For example, I have these adorable sweet cousins who I used to babysit, and they were looking for a new sort of part-time nanny, au pair kind of job. I don't really know the right word. Basically, they've always had a nanny, and now they don't. This is the first year that they don't. But they still need someone to sometimes help with school pickups or with, feeding the kids or helping with homework or just, looking after them while they're not home. And there I was. And don't get me wrong, it's not a job I do every day. I tend to do it maybe twice a week, although I do love doing it. I love those kids. But that's already at least a job, and it's just something I can do, and it's getting to be with them, so it's win-win for me. And then this other family member mentioned that she might know of an acting job even opening up somewhere. That eventually fell through, which is fine. It's not her fault. But for a moment there, it did seem like, oh, I might actually have a job. But I'm actually kind of glad I didn't, because it would have run through to April and then I wouldn't have been able to go back to Australia. So I'm okay with it. But basically, the reason I'm sharing all this is because my life seemed to sort of fall into place because of the connections I had here. Like, I potentially had 2 jobs just through family, and then I've also obviously got an accommodation, a place to stay, again, because of my grandmother, because she's being kind enough to let me stay with her. And I really don't think the London life would have been possible for me if it wasn't for all that. And I am nervous because I don't know what's going to happen after I come back from Australia. I'm hoping I'll get some sort of job, because then I will just have a long period of free time, basically. But I don't know if I'll be able to stay with my grandmother, just because I feel bad for her. She hasn't said anything, but I don't think I can stay here forever, I mean, we'll see. And I'm going to talk to my parents about it when I'm back in Australia as well. And obviously you probably already know because it's November for you now. But my parents always said that connections were such an important part of especially being an actress, but anything really. Networking, they love to use that word. And they're right. Of course they are. Of course the people you know will help you, if that makes sense. I don't really know what I'm saying. I think I'm going to switch the camera off. But yeah, I'm just really grateful for my connections, because otherwise I wouldn't be here right now. And we'll see what the future brings. There is, I think, a video that's called Future Me that I still need to film, so that'll be interesting. I'll probably be covering a lot of the same stuff. We'll see. All right, bye.